I think horses and agriculture are almost like a marriage. It's very symbiotic. The farmers grow a lot of the grains, they grow the hay, the straw, which we all use, and I think a lot of farmers are dependent on the products they sell to the horses. We breed horses because we love horses as much as it's a way of making a living. And I tried to say in lots of meetings that once we sell our farms, we're not coming back. I mean, the difference between a lot of other states is horse populations in racing are transient, whereas in Maryland, they're not transient. To me, saving the land crosses all social, economic, and political barriers, or should. What we leave to our children, if we don't leave a decent ecosystem, it really is irrelevant that we leave them anything else.
The dairy business is pretty tough business as far as I'm concerned. So we're at the mercy of the market. And the market may be up, may be down, and we're at the mercy of everything else like every other business, but this is very, very up and downish. A lot of the people in this area feel pretty independent and don't want to be told, including ourselves, what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And a pure example was that the Mount Zion Road was closed for 4 years due to a bridge out that the Planning Council fought for the width of the bridge, and it took 4 years to settle it, or 3 to 4 years, I'm not quite positive. And that put a bad taste in their mouth. In fact, I had a little run-in with Therese, and we're friends now.
I always tell people, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. It's not a job, it's a lifestyle. You don't punch in 8 o'clock, punch out 4 o'clock. 7 days a week, twice a day, 365. We don't wash them anymore because you have all the water, and that's where you get a lot of dirty. They test us on PI, which is they can pick up dirt in the milk. So you try to keep everything clean. So you do a pre-dip, a post-dip, and wipe them off clean. And actually, we do much better. I'm the 5th generation. The farm was bought in 1884, and it's a lifestyle. Our farm is preserved. It's land preservation, and so it's all preserved farmland, and all property that borders us is preserved farmland. So it's a nice big block here.
The agriculture community is committed to seeing that there's viable farming in Baltimore County in the long run. And they're not just looking at the short run, what's happening today. And there's a group of people that want to make sure that there are farmers in the future.
There's a lot of misinformation and a lot of misunderstanding about the role of agriculture in the Bay watershed. Let me set the record straight. Agriculture is a preferred land use. We risk putting agriculture out of business at our peril for our well-being and for the health of the Chesapeake Bay. But we all are part of the problem of water pollution, and we all have to be part of the solution.
Where we're standing today, you can see that we're standing in a field of cover crop. It's rye incorporated with radishes, which are tillage radishes, and what it does all together helps conserve the bay by keeping runoff and slowing down runoff and absorbing some of the excess nutrients that are in the soil. Well, the name of the farm is Cold Bottom Farms Incorporated, and what we're looking at behind me is all of our grain system here, and we have the ability to store just about 400,000 bushels. This is the fourth generation. I'm the fourth generation farmer, and it's been about 60 years we've been farming here. And right now we're currently farming 5,000 acres. It's easy for an operation of our size to spend about $1 million a year just to upgrade on our granary and new trucks, equipment. So we do a lot of business with the local hardware stores. We do a lot of business with the fuel companies. I mean, we can burn up to 500 gallons of diesel fuel a day. So that money that we're generating, that agriculture is generating, is going back into the community. In Baltimore County, we're very fortunate to be in this area, and in the area it's really unique that we have so many different scales of farms, from the vegetable farmer, the organic farmer, small scale agriculture, to crop farming, and the horses, the dairy. We all work together. We all fill the small pieces in this puzzle. As the combine comes through the field, what it actually does, it will actually pull the ear itself off, remove it, and as it goes through the machine, it will pull every one of the kernels off, and all that's left is nothing but pieces of a corn cob as it comes out of the machine. And it saves all the kernels, and that's what we take back to the farm, dry, store, and take to the market. Once we buy the machine, the only time we use the machine is during harvest, and our typical harvest for an operation our size, we start around August, about the end of August, August 25th for this year's example, and we should be done about the 15th of December. And we also use it in June and July, and when we harvest our barley and wheat. So unfortunately, the only use of the machine is only during those few months. I really have to applaud the county board for really keeping this soil in preservation, because it would be very easy to give up to all the developers that really want to come into this area, to this great soil. The land that we're standing on, and all the land in the county that's in ag preservation, it brings revenue every single year. It's really one of the best benefits that we have, our resource to have this ground. If the ground's not here, farming doesn't exist.
I know. All right, Don, all right.
So what we're gonna do is, you're gonna pack this foot up, and I'll be back in a couple of days.
My main job now, well, summertime I do move fields all the time. Trying to keep the same, you know. Most every place you go now, they building houses. If they ain't building houses, they building stores. They building the whole place up. But so far, this valley, it's been the same since I've been here, since 1946. And I've only been, you know, I've been here. be this time next year. I did, Father, I want to come on down, bless Reverend Doc Marcus, that lead us in the word of God. Bless our Sylvia Hughes, that behind us is one lady. Just bless all of us, one by one. This is your servant's prayer. My soul say amen. And looking down on me. Well, and looking down on
Okay, we live in the tenant house on Bonsa Farm, and to look out the window and see the beautiful land and trees, and it's nice and quiet, and the horses roaming around peacefully, and just was a blessing for me and my family. And this is Chelsea, my granddaughter. Her father was born and raised there, but he loved it. And it's just a beautiful place, and I would not like to see it built up.
The equestrian sports, fox hunting, steeplechase racing, 3-day eventing, all require a fair amount of space. And so the horse community is strongly in favor of preserving the rural areas. And of course, the unique thing of the valleys is that it's so close to a major city.
Yep, we're gonna go, guys. We're good to go. Billy, you coming up? Yep. Michael, if you can get in here, we're good, guys.
I can get in there,
All right, come in last then. Guys, nice easy walk, straight down behind the box right here. Come on down, 7. We only got 6, so let's just keep this nice and quiet. Turn, walk into the box. Oh, you all right, Mike? I don't know. Keep moving. Good. I'm trying. I'm trying. Come on with that inside leg. Doing good, look good. Guys, when we get down in here, I'm gonna get you to turn and walk right into the box, nice and easy, all right? Michael, don't jump this one. Oh, I'm gonna jump in the box like that. I hear you.
Go on the course.
Guys, turn and walk towards me. Get in the box. Don't run. Do not run.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And in the case of the Grand National, it's a piece of property that most of us don't get to see any other day of the year other than the Grand National. Most of the land that the races run over is eased land, protected land.
Why does this exist? And it has a lot to do with what the Valley's Planning Council has done over the years. It wouldn't be possible without people interested in preservation, landowners interested in preservation, and in this case, the 5 landowners of this property opening their place up. This place, the rest of the year, it's paddocks, it's hunt country, and it's farm.
County roads, it's always a challenge because you got to be very careful. They're narrow, they're not consistent, but that's what in part keeps it the way you want it. It's a country road, it's a country feel, and that's what we want to maintain.
It's not just the land that gets saved, it's the little things like the roads. We just crossed over a bridge that the county wanted to make into extra lanes so that trucks could pass over, and Valley's Planning Council fought long and hard over many years to keep it a nice bridge and maintain that curve instead of straightening it out. It's a great spot to ride.
If not for the Valley's Planning Council, many of the fields you see around you wouldn't be preserved, and it's really thanks to them that we're able to enjoy it every weekend. Certainly riding on bikes, riding on horses, it's a beautiful way to spend time, and we're very grateful for it.
Roads, they are an essential part of our needs to move around in this society, but they nonetheless generate development. And it'd be antithetical to the aspirations of this plan to widen these wonderful country lanes and greatly improve the intersections in order for more traffic to access future housing sites.
Well, the Valley's Planning Council feels that keeping rural roads rural is a very important aspect of land use that's not always looked at. In fact, it's one of the things that most jurisdictions overlook. They do a lot to protect the land, a lot in the way of historic preservation or agricultural easements, but if you don't control the roads that are going through there, it's very counterproductive. One of the problems is that most states and municipalities don't have any local road design standards. As a result of the study that Valley's Planning Council did in 2005, we hired a bridge consultant and a transportation engineer to develop these standards. And eventually, it took a long time, there was a lot of back and forth with the county, but in 2008 they did adopt it as part of their design manual. So we now have rural road standards in Baltimore County, and I think that's pretty unique among counties, and even most states don't have it.
And the issue that was most pressing on the minds of the board of directors was the issue of traffic across the valleys, especially across Tufton Schwann Road. And by and large, those issues are still being debated today.
We view this intersection as ground zero in the valleys. It's the corner of Green Spring Avenue and Tufton Avenue. What we're trying to do is make the traffic slow down but still get through in a reasonable pace.
We looked at a couple different alternatives, and what we've come up with is a roundabout. When this is completed, it will have as much or more capacity than what's out there today, and it'll be safer. The brown part in there is what we call a truck apron, and that allows oversized vehicles to get through the intersection.
What we were concerned about at this intersection is that the county might put in a light, which would be an element that's not in keeping with the rural area.
A roundabout is much safer than a traffic signal, and there's studies both in this country and internationally that bear that out.
One of our key concepts has always been the public benefits of private conservation.
When you make a road improvement, it may speed up traffic for about 10 minutes. It fills up immediately. And what have you done? You've created a wider road, you've obliterated the landscape that people really wanted to see. And it was just, it was an exercise in futility. So the policy that Valley's Planning has is to try to, at all costs, to keep the roads in their narrow, functioning state, but not do any major improvements.
You know, we've lived here for over 20 years, and you know, during this time we've seen so many changes and so much development. It's a concern that that it would never stop. And I got so upset about it that I actually drew a cartoon that featured the Beltway growing so big by the year 2025 that it virtually covers all green space between here and Baltimore. And actually the Washington Beltway connects with the Baltimore Beltway. As you can see, it's very full of concrete. But the cartoon got an awful lot of attention because I think a lot of people think like me and are concerned that if we just keep on letting roads grow, maybe one day they will look like this.